Hi, everybody. Oh, we're not live yet? Hi, everybody. Nick's cue that we were live was off. So sorry about the awkwardness, but hello, welcome to our live video. You're live with Unity Stamp Company, and if you're new to us, we manufacture deeply etched red rubber stamps right here in-house in small town Minnesota. We're a family-owned and operated business, and so I always love to mention that because I love supporting small family-owned businesses as well. And as well as stamps, we have inks, we have stencils, dies, really anything that you can think of that can help you make cards, we have. And so right now we're celebrating the end of 2021. Whoop whoop. And we have a little release for you. So there's like 6 brand new sets, and I'm using one of them today. And we have 50% off stamps site-wide. It just excludes our past and present memberships. We have $10 stamp sets, just a lot of stuff going on right now. And for every $10 you spend, you're going to get a free stamp. So that might be a free random image, free random sentiment. Either way, it's going to be a fun surprise, and you'll be able to try out a bunch of different stamps that maybe you wouldn't purchase, and you try it and you learn that you love a certain artist or a certain style, and so it's just kind of fun. Hi, Angie Blom. So the artist of the stamp set that I'm using today is here, and so I'm really, really excited about that. She can maybe share her inspiration for creating this set. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you, we got a couple of Christmas cards here this afternoon. So I got one by my friend and design team member, Echo Noble. So she created a card using our Mountainscape stencil. And then this is our Woodland Layers stamp set. So absolutely obsessed. And then look at back here. So right there is Echo's custom stamp, and that is actually made by my husband, Nick. And so if you want a custom stamp, you can get one at magnusoncustomstamps.com. But I had to share this. So we got that one. And then I got a beautiful card from Angie Blom, and she's here. And this is one of Angie's digital stamps that she created. Very, very beautiful. Love, love, love. So I just wanted to share those with you guys, and then let's go down to Project Cam and let me just show you this amazing set. You guys, I'm obsessing. So this is what it is called, Layered Mandala, and so when this came through, it was meant for a layering stamp set. And I know some of you might be like, what, a layering stamp set in red rubber? Yes, just trust. You're not going to get that detail in clear. You're just not. And so look at that deep etch, that amazing detail that you're going to get. So that's why it's fun to have some of these layering sets in red rubber, just to capture all that detail. So you're going to get 4 separate little rings here. So they're all cut separately, so you can layer them up in different colors. And then it comes with 1 sentiment, thanks, and this actually fits perfectly across the front of an A2. I love it. So I'm just going to show you some basic techniques using this stamp set. And then we'll kind of get into tougher stuff too. So I have 3 different cards here. So this is just kind of using it basically, and we'll do this one first. And so I just grabbed a bunch of inks from the same color family. So in my case, I grabbed pinks, and I'll show you how to line up these stamp sets and get something like this. And then I added jewels at the end because it just seemed like it had to happen. And then I'll show you how you can use them to, layer up just a couple of the rings and do embossing. So I saw a card similar that Charmaine Canham did, and I was like, oh darn, you beat me to it with the embossing, and I knew that she wouldn't mind if I tried it too. So her card is very, very beautiful. She used a different sentiment, and hers is like this layout, but we'll do that one, and then I'll show you how you can do them in all one color, kind of layered up like this on a slim line, and I thought that was fun too.
So I was wondering if there's dies or you have to fussy cut it.
This one I am just stamping directly on the paper, so for my techniques that I'm sharing today, there's no fussy cutting, no die cutting. But if you wanted to stamp them and cut them out and kind of add like a dimensional detail, you would need to fussy cut around them. There's no coordinating die for this one. All right, so let's get started on our regular A2. So the stamp set we're using, Layered Mandala, we're going to be using this one the entire time. It's brand new by Angie Blum. And when we're doing red rubber and we're doing layering stamp sets, I highly recommend a stamping platform. This is going to make it so much easier to get that perfect lineup of your stamps, and so I just would highly recommend that. Alright, so we're going to grab, this is just an A2 sheet of cardstock, so 4.25 by 5.5. And I'm just going to purple tape that inside of my MISTI. And I like to start with the big ring. So we're going to just kind of center this on our paper, our big ring, right in there. And then we'll start with our darkest colors. So for me, I'm using Red Hot. This is kind of like a cherry pink. I think Peggy just asked if Nick would make a digital die cut for this one, and he certainly
I sure can. Absolutely.
We can get that listed, and I can show you guys how to use that as well.
I'll do that right after this video.
Alright, so we're just going to stamp up our red, and I like mine to be very, very pigmented, so I'm going to stamp multiple times. It's a tiny bit off center, but it doesn't really matter because I am going to be die cutting this, so I can just die cut it so it's centered on the paper. Alright, so there's our red. And we're just going to clean this off. Be responsible stampers today. Alright, so now for this next part, we're going to grab the next biggest ring. So what you're going to need to do is get down at kind of the same level so you can see. So right now I'm kind of looking like, so I see right down on the edge. So I can kind of see exactly where everything is going to stamp. You can take like a bird's eye view here, and like I'm feeling pretty good about that lineup. So I can just go ahead and stamp right down, but I wanted to show you guys what else you could do if you wanted it to be perfect, and I do this a lot with my rubber stamps. I just grab a sheet of acetate. I'm going to put that right over the top of my card here. I didn't like how that was moving. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right on the top of my stamping panel. And this is just going to be so I can kind of see the lineup. I can see if I need to be moving that before I go into just stamping it on my paper. So I'm just going to grab my ink. This is Passionate Pink. Let's stamp down. Let's see what that's looking like. So I'm really happy with that lineup. There is a little bit more space on this edge than this edge, but I'm totally fine with that, and so I'm leaving it. If you didn't like that, you could shift your stamp a little bit, shift your panels so it's, you know, symmetrical.
And I bet you had it lined up the first time, but your paper moved a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It did, but I'm totally fine with it. All right, so here is our next layer of our Passionate Pink. And just clean that up. Now we're going to grab this one, and same kind of method here. I'm just getting kind of level. I'm seeing what it's looking like. I can grab my acetate again and do the same thing. Just make sure I like that placement. So I'm starting from darkest pink down to lightest. This is Dusty Rose I'm going to go in with. It's just kind of a fun pink color. All right, so I'm liking that. I think that's great again. Oh, I can move this. So you can kind of see, if you eyeball it and you look from the side, you're going to be able to see the lineup. And if you want to just ensure it's 100% perfect, grab that acetate, because that is going to be your friend. All right. So there's that. Now we're going to go in with that final piece here. So our centerpiece. All right. And again, we can grab our acetate if we would like. See how that's all going to line up. This is my lightest pink, and it is Innocent Pink is the color. Let's see. Yep. All right. We'll pull this off. And, oh no, I went in with Dusty Rose. What a mistake. All right. Now my real color I wanted. Stamp that down. Perfect. So I am very happy with how this is all turned out, and this is just the same kind of color family. So we started with Red Hot, and then we are doing Passionate Pink, Dusty Rose, and then our final center color is Innocent Pink. So if you don't have like a pink family, that's what I'm using. All right, so we're gonna take this, and I like to die cut after just because it's easy to kind of get it off center on the paper, and die cutting is just a super easy way to quickly center it with, you know, little effort. So I'm just gonna take my stitched rectangle die, and I'm lining it up on my panel here, and we're gonna run this through my die cutting machine. Alright, normally I like to have all the panels and stuff die cut, but for this technique and this certain stamp, it's so much easier to do it after you have it stamped, just in case there's a little mistake. Alright, so we're going to just grab this, and I'm going to put this back in my MISTI. Are you guys thinking of all the color combos that you can try with this? I was going through my inks, and I was like, oh, I need to try blues and greens. Just lots of different possibilities with this one. So I'm just going to go in with my VersaFine Clair. We actually just got this back in stock, I think. I'll have it back on the website very soon. All right, so we'll do thanks across the bottom. Yes, Kelly, I was just thinking about rainbow inks. Yes, that would be so pretty. Somebody needs to get this set and try that, because I think that would be really, really pretty. All right, so here is that final one with kind of an ombre technique. So I just went ahead, and on my final card here, I added a bunch of different flat gems just to give it a little bit of sparkle and shine, and I just think that sparkles and mandalas go together so well. So there's that final look, just kind of doing a basic technique on an A2 card. So obsessed, love it. All right, so let's go ahead and try this another way, because there's lots of different ways that you can use this set. So let's grab some black cardstock, and we're going to do just 2 of the rings this time, and we're going to do silver and gold embossing. So I'm going to use just these 2 this time instead of all 4. And we do not need the MISTI for this first part. Second part we will, but the first part we do not need it. All right, so I'm just going to grab my medium ring here. So I'm using this one, and I'm using our gridded block. And I'm going to take my, oh, you know what? I'm going to make Nick happy right now.
Are you using my buddy?
Yeah, Nick made me an embossing buddy. So let's test it out here. Let's see what this is. This will cut down on our static. Okay. So we got that going on. We got this. And now I'm going to grab our clear embossing ink. So we're starting with the middle-sized ring with our clear embossing ink. And I'm going to start by putting one kind of in the center, like so. And then we're just going to kind of fill in around it. Can you see that on camera, Nick, or is it a little bit hard? Might be a little hard, but once I get that embossing powder on, it's all going to make sense. So we're filling our entire panel with these medium-sized rings, just kind of making a repeat pattern here.
Shauna says the rings don't fit inside each other, do they?
Nope, they don't fit inside each other because they're meant to be stamped so close. So see how close those are? It just wouldn't work to cut in between where they're all in one group because they're so close together. So I hope that makes sense. So they all come separate, they all pull apart. I said that too. I'm like, oh, well, that's fine. They just fit inside each other. And then I realized, oh, that's not going to work because it's much too close for the cutting. All right, so we are just finishing up our big rings here. So this is what we're working with. And now I'm going to be grabbing some gold embossing powder. So I'm using my Nuvo Classic Gold Embossing. And we're just going to cover our whole card front.
I hope my buddy worked.
I hope so too. Oh, look at that, Nick. It worked.
Ooh.
All right, so there it is, all covered with our gold. Nick, I wonder if while I'm doing this, if you could put this back in there for me so I can move on to my silver. All right, so we're going to heat set this. And you can just see the gold popping up. I love it. So pretty. All right, so here is all of our gold on there. So now for this second part, so we're going to be doing stamping and doing embossing in silver. And so we're going to need to line this up a little bit, and I find it just easier to use the MISTI. So now we're going to grab the next size down, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I think it's going to be. I'm going to grab my acetate. Just putting that down over the top. It doesn't need to cover the whole thing because I'm not stamping the whole thing. I'm stamping that center right now. All right, let's see what it's looking like. Let's move this panel. Let's see what that's going to be if I leave it like that. Monkeying around with it now, getting too technical. I feel like every time I get in my head about being perfect is when I screw it up. So I need to just step back for a second here. This is moving my panel. All right. Let's try again before I went all rogue. All right, let's commit. Time to commit. All right. Stamp that one. Pretty perfect if I do say so myself. All right, I'm just gonna shove this kind of over to the one side. Now these ones that are kind of half on there, I find really easy to line up because it doesn't matter if the other side wouldn't line up. Right. This is all going according to plan. All right. So I'm just filling in all of those little spots that we already stamped our gold on and adding this next size down ring to the centers.
Yeah, I think eyeballing it just works so much better than trying to do the acetate. And
it's so stressful otherwise. And honestly, like, I have been working with this and I haven't been unhappy with any of the cards that I've made. So
yeah, it just matters getting down to eye level and you can see exactly where it's going to ink up.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this one. All right. So now I'm going to take my silver embossing powder and we're going to cover those stamped images with silver. So the one that I'm using is, oh, whoops. See that little buddy? Let's get him. We forgot one on the edge. I don't want to, so I'm just going to grab another little block here. And look at how brave that is, you guys.
Ooh.
And it looks perfect. You want to see, Yev? You can pull your chair out. My son is here with us right now, so I'm making...
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
My bus driver gave me a candy cane.
Wow.
A rainbow one.
That sure is nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there is our
Ooh.
silver. And now we're going to heat emboss this.
Watch the magic, man.
I think this would be a really great New Year's card, or, you know, even just any occasion, but I always think silver and gold is perfect for New Year's. Oopsies. All right.
Hey, Mom, what does that thing do? That just scared me.
It heats up and it melts that embossing powder, so we get a look like this.
Ooh, wait. Yeah, it looks like one of those things like up there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it really does.
All right, so you can add a sentiment to this. Mine, I just went ahead, I stamped out that fun thanks and I die cut it. So this is kind of what the final card will look like. I'm going to mat this on a white card base, but I just did a little bit of gold glitter stock around to kind of fit with that same theme, but I think that silver would be really pretty too matted on. But I love that, how you can emboss with two different colors pretty easily with this stamp set. So far we got these two that we've made, and I'm going to share with you how you can do solid colored mandalas on a slimline. All right, so there's those. Love. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. And here's that slimline. I love it. And I've done this like color combo a lot, so hopefully you guys aren't sick of it, but I really like lime green, pink, and teal together. So my slimline that I'm going to do is going to fit on an 8.5 by 3.5 inch card base. So I just went ahead and I cut this down so this would fit on my little scallop border. And this fits perfectly on an 8.5 by 3.5 inch slimline card. All right.
Kathy on YouTube says it's lovely.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, so we are live on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you're having trouble on one or the other, you can hop on over there. And it seems like YouTube is really reliable about giving notifications if we're live, and so if you aren't getting notifications on Facebook, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you're going to get notifications every time we go live. All right, so here is my panel, and we're just going to start with the middle. And so I'm going to just take my big ring right here and start with the middle. Hair there, and we're going to do all one color mandalas. So my pink one is going to be Passionate Pink. It's one of my favorite pinks. And we're just going to ink this up. Perfect. Julissa's sharing the link for this stamp set because it really is a must-have. I love it. Clean this off. And the one thing about doing them in solid colors too is I felt like it was really easy to stamp these out because you don't notice imperfections as much when it's all in one color. So there's one kind of pro to doing it all in one color. All right, we're going to do the next size down. And I'm just kind of, oh. There we go. And we're just inking up with the same color again, Passionate Pink. Perfect. Now we'll go down to the next size.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Thank you. All right. Stamp that down. And then our final one.
We had to bring this stamp set home this weekend because I was dying to try it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
It's so true. All right, so there's our pink. Easy enough, right? All right, so now we are going to do our next color mandala. And I love kind of the layered effect when the colors kind of combine a little bit, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So of course this panel is not going to fit in there, and so what I do is I just kind of pull it down. I have a little bit kind of hanging out of the Misty. That's going to be just fine. Nothing bad's going to happen. So we're going to do our next one here. So I'm starting with the big again, and we're going to do this in blue. So I love Tranquil Teal. It's just a really nice dark teal color. Stamp that down. And I'm doing them kind of offset a little bit. I don't want them all lined up. I love how when these combine, it's almost like purpley. Sorry, I'm like super excessive about my inking. All right, clean this blue off. We'll go our next size down. All right. Look at that, you guys. No acetate.
Who needs acetate?
I know, right? All right. We'll do this next one.
Sue says, I love that squeaky clean when Whit uses the tidy towel.
Oh, yeah.
That squeaky noise.
That's awesome. That one had pink on it still, but yeah, it'll be just fine. All right, and then our center.
Ooh, Cindy placed an order for this one.
Oh, thank you so much for your order. I know that everybody in the back is working so hard to get all of our orders out. I think they might have gotten like all but just a handful out from the weekend, and so you can order with confidence. It's going to ship very soon here. It'll start shipping tomorrow. We're done with shipping for the day, but tomorrow we'll start again, and we got these all ready to go. All right, so there are our two mandalas all ready to go. Let's get that bottom one. So I'm just kind of taping this. Then the top will be out the top of the Misty so it all fits. And we're going to go in with Key Lime. I love this color. And I'm going to kind of switch sides because I thought that that would be different and fun. So we'll do the big one again in our Key Lime. I'm obsessed with this green color. It's great for Christmas, it's great for summer. I can't get enough. It's like I just realized I had it just like a couple years ago too, and I've had this color for a long, long time. All right, there's that. We'll go in with our next size down. Stamp that out. Just a little bit of blue on this one. I didn't clean it because I'm irresponsible. All right. There we go. I love sets that you can just like simply stamp. Like this one, I know it's gonna be a favorite for me just because I don't always feel like coloring. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood, but I love stamping always, so. Or if like I'm in a rut too, like creatively, I love just doing simple stamping because that usually kind of gets the creative juices flowing again when I'm just kind of mindlessly stamping, trying out different colors and things like that. All right, there's that. So I love how this one turns out on the slimline. You can get 3 different colors. It's really pretty all in one color too. All right, so for this card, I just went ahead and added a die cut sentiment with a little hello die, and then I added some enamel dots from our shop and put it on a scalloped border. So this is that final look for that card. So fun and pretty. I always have fun with slimline cards. They're just kind of fun and different to try. So if you are just tuning in, here was the first card that I made, and this is just kind of showing you the basic how-to of this awesome stamp set, which is layered mandala. So this is kind of the basic first step if you want to learn how to do it. And then here is it silver and gold embossed, 2-tone embossing. So 3 different cards, 1 stamp set. I am obsessed with this stamp set. I know it's going to be a favorite of yours too. So I'm really excited to get this stamp set into your guys' hands and see what you guys create. So if you get this stamp set and you make some cards, I'd totally love to see them over on the Unity Show and Tell page. It is our group, and we share all sorts of things over there. People share cards they make, inspiration. We share all of our sales details, sneak peeks. So I would love for you to join us over there. And treat yourself before Christmas. We've been thinking about everybody else for a few months now, getting all ready for Christmas, and so you should treat yourself and grab a few stamp sets for yourself to create greetings for others. So we're going to be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what the topic will be yet, but hopefully I will come up with something fun for you guys. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, everybody.